Good evening, councillors, staff, members of the public, and welcome to the extraordinary council meeting for September, and of course to all our community listening online as well. I declare the meeting open at 7:05 p.m. Everyone at this meeting is reminded to conduct themselves in a polite and professional manner, keep communication factual, use appropriate language and tone, do not use any defamatory or derogatory remarks. Defamation laws apply to addresses in public forum. I also ask councillors to observe the requirements under the Code of Meeting Practice and Meeting Etiquette. I remind all present that the video recording is an official record of council and may be made available to persons upon request in accordance with the Government Information Public Access Act 2009. No other recordings are permitted. Therefore, all present should ensure that no video recordings or photographs are taken. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the land on which we meet, the land of the Gadigal and Bidjigal, and pay my respect to elders past and present. I now invite Pastor Andrew Harper from Bay City Church, Arncliffe, to say the opening prayer. Thank you. Please be upstanding.
God, we just start tonight by lifting up in prayer the community that was affected by the tragedy on the 25th of August, where two young boys lost their lives. God, we speak into the area of fast driving and racing in our area, God, and we just pray as a community that this would be a signpost for those just not to partake in that action. And God, we just pray for those families. We pray for their loss, and we just pray that they would experience your comfort and your grace in this moment. And also tonight, God, we just once again thank you for democracy. We thank you for our wonderful system of government and local government. And tonight, God, I just pray for this election, for mayor and deputy mayor. And God, I just pray for your favor upon it. And we thank you, Father God, for all you've done for our community. And we just pray your hand is upon all that happens tonight in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Harper. And I reiterate our sincere condolences and thoughts with the family and friends as well. Okay, we don't have any apologies. We have a full house, so that is good. It takes us to disclosures of interest. Are there any disclosures of interest anyone would like to? Not much on the agenda, so no disclosures tonight. Excellent. All right, councillors, we have some Merrill minutes, which I have tabled, and you will have a copy in front of you. So the first Merrill minute is supporting women's sport. So this motion asks that council acknowledges the amazing contributions of the Matildas in the recent FIFA Women's World Cup. So exciting, great atmosphere. And so as part of this, that council agrees to investigate the construction and location of a new dedicated women's sporting facility. That council calls for a detailed report outlining ways we could increase our support for women and girls sport, including adequate and equal access to training and playing grounds in Bayside, to be presented to a committee meeting before the end of 2023. And that future upgrades or new facilities include suitable female change rooms. So I put the motion. All those in favour?
Madam Mayor, I'd
Would you like to speak? Thank you. Councillor Zaranowski.
I'd like to congratulate you on bringing down the Merrill minute. It was terrific that what the Matildas achieved, and particularly the grassroots soccer, like football, was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. The atmosphere, it united the whole community. One good thing about the St George Association is that the amount of ladies that are participating, young girls, has just skyrocketed up. And I'm not sure if any of the councillors know, but our federal member, Linda Burney, prior to the last federal election, granted Rockdale City Suns $1.3 million for facilities for ladies sport. That's $1.3 million on it, and every club that I talk to have all said the same thing. The numbers have skyrocketed because of the Matildas and what they achieve. I rise to support you, and I strongly would hope that something gets resolved by this year on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Saranowski. Are there any other speakers? Councillor Douglas.
Yeah, no, I just want to support this motion. I think it's fantastic. I think all of us were very touched by the Matildas' journey in a way that I don't remember ever being touched before by sport. And I think there was a little bit of commentary around all levels of government can do more to support women's soccer, to elevate our future Tillies the same way that England can elevate their female soccer players. So I think this is a great localised initiative, Madam Mayor, and thank you for bringing it to the table.
Thank you, Councillor Douglas. Councillor Barlow.
Just, I support the mayoral minute, and I was lucky enough to go and be representing council at the St George Women's the presentation, and then I got an email today to say in 20 years it's they had their 14, 16s and first grade win their grand final, so it's amazing, and they're an amazing group of people, and I congratulate them as well as us looking to the future.
Definitely. Thank you for raising that, Councillor Barlow. All right. No other speakers. All those in favour say aye. Against, declare it carried. All right. The second mayoral minute in front of you is about, there's some historic wetlands, and it's about preserving the historic wetlands for open space, and that this motion asks that council writes to the Federal Minister for Environment, the Honourable Tanya Plibersek, Federal Member for Kingsford Smith, the Honourable Matt Thistlethwaite, the New South Wales Minister for Water, the Honourable Rose Jackson, the New South Wales Premier, the Honourable Chris Minns, and all our local state members, and the Executive Director of Sydney Water, calling on them to make the Sydney Water-owned former nursery site available to the community as public open space. Previously, this was occupied by a Gardens R Us, which was a garden centre, landscaping nursery until the end of 2015. Since that time, the site has been left locked up and has fallen into complete dilapidation. And with all the historic connections there to the wetlands, a lack of open public space in that area, particularly with quite a lot of high-rise development on the East Lakes boundary there, and a lot of families moving into the area. This is something that, would leave a legacy for generations where we have limited open space. There are golf courses, but they're not accessible in the same way. So that's advocating for that, for open space. Are there any speakers? Yes, Councillor Jansen.
I'm in complete support of this mayoral minute. That particular wetland could be, further damaged by any development or high-rise that was to take place. Some of that wetland contains the last remaining tracts of eastern suburbs Banksia scrub. You don't see that a lot in the eastern suburbs anymore. It also has critically endangered species, so I'm totally in support of this mayoral minute, and I think we should preserve that for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jansen. Councillor Morrissey.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm absolutely supportive of this, and I know in our last term of council there was some noise to have this as a development site, which is absolutely disgraceful. The reason there's golf courses in that area is because there's an aquifer underneath that, which runs from Sydney's original water supply in Centennial Park. Tank Stream goes down one side and the aquifer comes down the other side. So wouldn't it be fantastic for a green space pretty much from the Botanic Gardens, through the city, through the golf courses, right through the centre of this site, which is then the gateway to East Lakes and the Lakes golf course areas, across through Much Park, across the railway bridge. There's a couple of bridges there, that's right. But into the Mill Pond and then down out into Botany Bay. And people could walk that. People could walk that. We talk about Sydney's beautiful coastal walks. this is something that'll be a wetlands walk primarily in Bayside, and we'd be, of course, engaging with other council areas, Sydney of City and possibly Randwick as well. But absolutely essential that this is preserved, and we need as much support from all levels of government as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morrissey. No other speakers. I put the mayoral minute. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Declare that carried. Thank you, councillors. I have my final mayoral minute. This mayoral minute is achievements during this term of council to date, and I thought it was important that we look at the achievements that we as a council have achieved. So my vision when I was elected as mayor was to improve everything that people see in our Bayside area and to also improve everything that they experience in their interactions with Bayside Council. And I believe we've made strong progress in both these areas. Through the support of council, we have established a new office of the mayor, and we've improved the way we do things by introducing our committee structures. We continue to exercise strong financial management in all our activities and posted a strong financial result, finishing our last reporting period with a cash surplus. The last few years have required substantial energy to restart our local government area following the enforced lockdowns of the pandemic. Our area is now thriving again, and council should feel very proud of the many projects and activities that have been delivered in the current term to date. Some of the projects that have enhanced what you see in our Bayside area include the delivery of Sir Joseph Banks Park All Ages and Abilities Wild Play Area and the newly refurbished children's playground. And many of you have been and seen how amazing it is, and all just an absolutely wonderful space for our families. The Botany Aquatic Centre redevelopment, the project planning is well underway. One more season and then those works start. Bexley tennis courts, so we've refurbished those courts there, and the clubhouse and landscaping, they're now open for people to participate. Guess Avenue, Walleye Creek, the new town park, which is going to be really important for that community, will be opening shortly. We've had the upgrade, we're planning an upgrade to Mascot Oval, which is one of the oldest clubs that's over 100 years old. There, the Mascot Juniors Rugby League. We created a new amenity block at Lestrange at Mascot. The Barton Park, if you've all been driving past watching the progress. So it's well advanced to developing our great sporting precinct, which will open probably mid-2024. Our wonderful new playground at Depina Reserve, which is just fantastic. The Sandringham Seawall and Cycleway upgrade, including a new walkway for pedestrians. We recently opened our first Petanque court at Bexley Oval, which has proved very popular. We had a wonderful opening with our community there. We've been reactivating the use of Botany Town Hall, and we've had numerous park upgrades, some wonderful artistic murals. So I'm not going to name everything because we've done so much as a council. We've waged a personal war on potholes, and we didn't make the top 10, which we're very pleased about. We've built on our reputation for having beautifully maintained hedges and verges, and it's also been my pleasure to represent Bayside Council at official openings of many of our new and revamped public spaces. The next area is what our Bayside people experience. Aside from what people see, we have a comprehensive program of initiatives to engage and support our Bayside community. These serve to create loyalty to our area and a sense of belonging, which is something we've really strived to do. We've strongly advocated for our new customer experience improvement program, where our customers, that being our residents and community, are the centre of everything we do as a council. And we've got roles in place to support that major piece of work. We've implemented a number of different streamlined processes. We've revamped our quarterly newsletter. We've used social media to engage and keep our community aware of all the great work that's happening in Bayside and all the support services and events we're putting on. As councillors, we've also been out holding mobile offices and encouraging community to make contact with us so that we can then support and advocate for our community. We've implemented a lot of technology, particularly the website's just been rebuilt. So we're going to see a lot more there to be able to navigate, and also more information there. We've also had some excellent progress in events. We're known for our events, and you know, we've had Spring Fair, Food and Wine Festival. We've now taken over the Angelo Anastas Aquatic Centre, which, and Councillor Hannah tells me it was packed today in the heat. So people are enjoying their time there. We trialled the Bay Street closures. We've had 17 citizenship ceremonies in the last 12 months. So that's 2,100 new citizens that we've welcomed to Bayside, which is lovely. We've had our Christmas events. We've got the return of Carols by the Sea in 2023. We've had the Women's World Cup screenings at our parks. We've hosted a number of different things. We've implemented a library strategy, and so lots of those things. We've also been actively supporting small business. So they were, you know, it's been very challenging for small business post the pandemic. So besides the Streets Alive, we implemented a 10-point plan to reactivate business activity. And we've got our Bayside Business Awards, which are coming up on the 17th of October at the Brighton Novotel. So which I know our businesses have been very excited about. And we've been, we've had a number of priorities as well. So we launched our first Reconciliation Action Plan, our RAP, and promoted a number of different events there. We've had Flickerfest, the Kamei Cook-Up, and we've also got, this Saturday, we've got our Hear Our Voice concert as well, which we'll be hosting there. Council adopted a Disability Inclusion Plan, 2022 to 26. We've also, we hosted a forum on engaging and working more effectively and inclusively with our LGBTQI+ community. We've continued to support our Bayside Women's Shelter, offering a safe home for women and children escaping domestic and family violence, and the generous support from community and council staff with hampers, books and food donations. We loudly called on an emphatic no to all forms of domestic and family violence. We've got an action plan. We've had our inaugural walk last year, which we'll be holding again this week, for 16 days of activism against violence. And this was also, our efforts were recognised as a honourable mention at the National Awards for Local Government 2023. And we're also had a forum as well with leaders in the space, and we're currently creating a beautiful remembrance garden as well for those that have been lost to domestic and family violence in our community. We've been promoting women through hosting of our inaugural Women's Day event, and which is which is now an annual event. The General Manager and I did the CEO Sleep Out this year and raised $15,000 for St Vinny's, and thank you. I'm sure many people in this room contributed, so thank you for your generosity. We've promoted the need for social housing, so I've done a big piece on that, and the circular economy. Lots of work there. We've promoted arts and culture. We now have, we've adopted a public art policy. We've got a dedicated arts and culture specialist, and we are in the near future opening a arts and culture centre across the road from the town hall. And we have our Bayside photography competition that's out at the moment. So all the photographers, please get your photos and enter. In relation to environment, we now have an environment and resilience team. We've committed to 100% renewable energy by 2024. We've also had been looking at our, adding to our tree canopy with a number of different events for tree planting for Mother's Day, Father's Day. We've worked with Fix It Sisters to launch a swan pontoon at Sir Joseph Banks, and the swans have now laid, which is really, really exciting. We've used the opportunity to spread the message of different things on our council trucks, and educating the community things about not putting batteries into trucks and a whole range of other things. And our new road resheeting program using crushed glass and recycled towers. And we've become a member of Grow It Local, so our community can connect to that. We've also exercised people power by supporting a number of campaigns which have been withdrawn, like the Matraville incinerator, the Yarra Bay cruise ship terminal, and we've also created the Hooting Task Force as well with police and the state member. In relation to waste management, we won the national award in the National Local Government Awards, and which was very exciting for our work that council is doing in that space, which has been fantastic. And then, of course, a real focus on technology. We've been rolling out more CCTVs. We've signed a memorandum of understanding with St George Police, where they get the data in real time. We've also purchased EV vehicles and have charging stations at our depots. We've provided defibrillators in all our seniors centres and community centres. We've launched the Park and Pay accessibility mobile app. We've also contributed this year in the first round with $69,300 worth of grants to 32 community organisations. And it was wonderful to personally visit a number of those and see the great work they're doing for our community with those. So none of this would be possible without the efforts of a number of people. So I'd like to acknowledge the strong leadership of our General Manager, Meredith Wallace, our hardworking directors, and our dedicated council staff. All that we have achieved has been delivered through these people who are the heart and soul of Bayside Council. Our Deputy Mayor, Scott Morrissey, has worked tirelessly for our community and deserves special thanks too. His commitment and support to council has been invaluable. Thank you, councillors, for your enthusiasm, ideas, and genuine care for the people we serve. And this is all, I really wanted to take the time because this is what this term of council has contributed to. We've worked very hard, new councillors, we've had new ideas, and it's just been fantastic, and we've made considerable progress that you all should be very proud of. And we must maintain and build on this momentum and continue to put the needs of the Bayside community first. Thank you, councillors. I move the minute. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against, declare it carried. Thank you, councillors. Before I hand the meeting over to the General Manager to conduct the ballot for Mayor and Deputy Mayor and vacate the chair, I would like to take this opportunity to inform the Council and the community of Bayside that, as is common practice in many councils, mayoral appointments are often on a rotational basis, and I therefore give the opportunity to another of my Labor colleagues this evening to be the candidate. As tabled in my previous mayoral minute, I'm extremely proud of the performance and achievements of the elected council and council staff during my term as mayor. To serve as the first female mayor of Bayside Council has been an honour and a privilege. I'm proud of the work we, as a council, community and staff, have achieved during this term, and truly believe after the last 2 years, Bayside is a better place for people to live, work and visit. Thank you to all who have served alongside me. I would like to make a few special mentions this evening. Firstly, to Deputy Mayor Scott Morrissey, your loyalty and unwavering support has been unmatched. I'm proud of the leadership and teamwork that we have modelled. Thank you. To my fellow councillors, it has been an absolute pleasure to work alongside you. I'm proud of each of your contributions, and each of you have done that in the best interests of our community. So thank you for that. To our General Manager, Meredith Wallace, I've greatly valued your insight and experience and believe we've been a strong leadership team. To our departmental directors, thank you for your outstanding leadership and contributions in making Council's vision a reality. To the mayoral office team, thank you for your drive and enthusiasm. It has been an absolute joy to serve the Bayside community together. To the Bayside Council staff, thank you for your hard work you have demonstrated to deliver exceptional services for our community. And finally, to the Bayside community, the support you've showed me during my time as mayor has been inspiring and rewarding. I'm truly thankful for your support. It has been my absolute pleasure to hear your ideas, and I've had lots of ideas and we've implemented a lot of them and worked together with you to achieve a better Bayside. Community is why I ran for council and why I will continue to run for council. I look forward to continuing to make a difference as an elected Ward 1 councillor. Thank you, councillors. I now invite the Deputy Mayor, followed by any councillors that may wish to address council.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll keep it relatively short. I saw a councillor on TV the other day who wasn't elected in the last election. He was a bit disgruntled and he said, "Oh, we've just got to stick to doing roads, rates and rubbish." And then reflecting on what we have achieved as a council, it makes me wonder, does he actually realise why people run for council these days? Because it's much more than those three things. And under the leadership of you, Madam Mayor, and with the support of all the councillors, I think we've achieved some amazing things, as is evidenced in your mayoral minute. Bayside, in my view, is the absolute best place to live in Sydney. And there's a lot of cliches. It's been an honour and a privilege. For me, it's actually a highlight and a joy. It's much more than those cliched words. I think, you know, in my view, we've built a sense of a Bayside community. We're only formed in 2017. This is the second term, and we've all, as a team, battled and faced challenges to build that sense of community. And in this particular term, I think we've had developed strong collaborative relationships, not only with us as councillors working together, but also with the directors, the managers, the teams, and of course, the brilliant general manager, to keep everybody accountable and delivering to all of our crazy, sometimes crazy ideas. I think, as in the role of Deputy Mayor, I thank everybody for the support that they've provided me and for the calls they've taken and the discussions we've had. I think we've all learned a great deal about each other, and that should continue. So for me, again, in ending personally, I look forward to continuing to work together to improve everything that we do to make Bayside a better place to live and continue and maintain it to be the best place to live in Sydney. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morrissey. Councillor Jansen.
I just want to say that I feel privileged to be part of the councillor team led by you, Mayor Dr. Curry, and the Deputy Mayor, Scott Morrissey. In 2 short years, under both of your directions, we have become a more inclusive Bayside and a more strategic chamber. Dr. Curry, you are a strong and genuine leader that cares for our community and our staff of Bayside. Your strength-based approach saw you awarded as a recipient of the 2022 Ministers' Awards for Women in Local Government. And you have served as only 8 female Labor mayors from 128 local councils in New South Wales. That is an incredible achievement. I truly thank you both for your dedication and exemplary leadership over the last 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jansen. Councillor Muscat.
Sorry, I want to say thank you to you, Madam Mayor. I think we must all be very proud of that long list. This is my first term on council, and it is a big sacrifice to do the work for our community. And I know that everybody in this room is here because they care about their community. For whatever differences we have on the floor, at the end of the day, we all show up because we care. And I think that care is really evident in the hard work that the council has managed to achieve under your leadership, Madam Mayor. So I just want to thank you for that leadership.
Thank you, Councillor Douglas. Councillor Wada.
Madam Mayor, look, it's been a pleasure working with you under your leadership. It's been a tough, after we've had COVID for 2 years and then you came at the back of COVID and there was a lot to catch up on because we were hamstrung
That's right.
during the 2 years. So you had
Yes.
to catch up on a lot of stuff. It's been a pleasure working with you and the Deputy Mayor. And I guess even though you're sort of handing over tonight, I'm sure we're going to be working as a group and move forward in a forward direction for the next 12 months for the residents of Bayside. And thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Councillor Wada. Councillor Hannah.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Look, I rise to thank you also because I think you have brought a real level of professionalism to this council, and I thank you for that. And I think at one of the sessions that we had very early in the piece where we were asked about what we thought our role was and all those sorts of things, and I made the point that essentially we are a board of directors and our shareholders are our residents and our ratepayers, and essentially that we are here to produce what I describe as a community dividend. Well, there it is. And it's terrific that you've produced this because it's very easy to forget all the things that have been done, and particularly for a local government organisation that are not renowned for being particularly agile and quick. I think that's a pretty damn good record. So congratulations and thank you for your leadership. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hannah. Councillor Muscat.
I am standing up in case anyone says anything. I'm not sitting down. I've got the chair on the highest. I'd like to acknowledge both Councillors Curry and Morrissey, who are my Ward 1 buddies. And regardless of our political standings and parties, I have found them to be two very generous, time-giving people who are out there with the people. So I have had the privilege of going on a lot of events. I've been to those 2,100 people citizenship ceremonies.
You have?
And what I have found really endearing at at all those ceremonies with the mayor there is the welcoming nature to our first contacts that they have with Bayside. And it's the mayor, it's the councillors, it's the staff members, and they're seeing what a cohesive group that we are, and the pride that Councillor Curry gives about being the leader of this great community, and her background and her family's background and their involvement in our great nation. It makes them feel valued, respected, and proud to be part of Bayside. They all get a personal handshake, they all get a personal word, they all get a personal photo. I've never taken so many photos in my life.
Thank you.
I've seen every phone possible for personal for photos, but they have appreciated, and they have all made comments saying they have never seen anything like this before. They have never experienced anything like this before. And I think that's what makes our community unique. Both Christina and Scott value the voice of the people. They stop and they listen. It doesn't matter whether they're a senior citizen, you know, on the curbside, or a child. They speak to them on their own level, which I think is really important. And it makes them feel appreciated. It makes them feel, I do have a voice. And then it's also the councillors' jobs to support those two leaders in taking that forward, and also listening to the people. So a big thank you as a Ward 1 person, as a newbie to council. I've asked many questions, and I always think sometimes they're dumb questions, but I like to ask questions. If I don't know about it, I'll ask. And Scott and Christina have listened to lots of questions from me, and have also advised me with how to do things and the correct way to do it and the protocol. So I thank you two for being mentors, not only to myself, but to anyone else here on council, but also for your openness and respect that you have in the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Barlow.
Look, just congratulations, and it's been a very busy 2 years for you. You have dedicated, it's exceptionally. I can't, you know, some of the, where you've been, I mean, I've turned up at all the street meetings and quite a few other things, but it's been wonderful to see another female in that chair. I was the only one, except for Councillor Saravanowski, that have worked with a female mayor, and that was Yvonne Bellamy. So it's a tradition now. Maybe it'll get better and better, and we'll have more females in that chair. But it's been wonderful to work with you, and the list we've got here is incredible. And you forget how busy we've been. I mean, and it was, you know, you go to street meetings and there was just so much going on. But congratulations on for your dedication for the last 2 years. You might be able to have a rest now.
Thank you,
for your
Councillor
time.
Barlow. Councillor Naji.
Madam Mayor, I'll be very brief, as I have a reputation that I take too long in my speeches. But I just want to congratulate you on your dedication, you and Councillor Morrissey, as a team for serving this community. Your leadership has spoken for itself. I got to congratulate you because it's an honour and a privilege for us to have worked with you and been a councillor under your leadership. You have demonstrated the respect, not only to me, but to other councillors, and the respect is given back. As for the delivery, if I start mentioning the deliveries you have delivered under your leadership, we'll be here all night. It's been an outstanding. You, when you were elected as the mayor the last 2 years, you did say that you are dedicated to a vision of community leadership. And you did deliver. You delivered not only on community facilities, but on sporting facilities and other parks and other facilities. And Councillor Morrissey is right. We're not just councillors that need to worry about garbage and other stuff. We do. and your background came from experience, came from the former botany. You did another term under Bayside, the first term, the second term, you're the mayor. Your experience counts, and experience delivers. I want to congratulate you, and I'm honoured to be working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Marchie. Councillor Sedgwick.
Madam Mayor, I just want to say also thank you. I know all our colleagues have said it, but personally, from the bottom of our heart, bottom of my heart, to work with yourself and Councillor Morrissey, the dream team I was also a fellow one councillor. So to see you guys, I've been in a few roles now, but to see you come through the ranks was a fairy tale story. For you and Councillor Morrissey to take mayoralty last term out of 15 councillors to be chosen, well done, congratulations. I want to say thank you once again, really for changing this to a customer service and experience model, and that was through your vision. You have been constantly contactable. Every time we had an issue or a problem, you were always there. So once again, congratulations and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Councillor McDougall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll just be very brief. I just want to thank both yourself and Councillor Morrissey for your service and leadership to the council over the last 2 years. Really think these are thankless jobs. They're painful. They're hard work, and we and the community owe you a great deal of gratitude for taking up those roles over the last 2 years. And I really just wanted to reflect on the fact that all this delivery is coming straight out of COVID. We as a council really tried to support our community at cost of the council itself throughout that period. And we've been able to emerge from that and continue really what is a very ambitious program of delivery. We've shown that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. The councils around us are cancelling projects and we are delivering in spades, and we should be very proud of that. Other councils, both during and after COVID, and particularly during COVID, were retrenching staff. Bayside Council has not only kept all our staff on, supported all our staff throughout that period, but subsequently we've continued to bring essential services in-house, whether that be Bexley Pool or childcare services. We are really delivering for our community in these areas, but really doing so much more. So I just want to thank you both for all your work leading us through that.
Thank you. Okay. It is now my duty to hand the meeting over to our General Manager to conduct the ballot for the position of Mayor and Deputy Mayor for the next 12 months.
Just before we do that, we have a very small token of appreciation for the Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Thank you very much on behalf of the staff.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, this one over here. Yeah, that's good.
So councillors, community members in the public gallery and those online, this brings us to a very important part of this evening's proceedings. Item 7.1 through to 7.4 involve the method of voting for the election of the Mayor and Deputy Mayor and the election themselves for the Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Councillors, the first thing we are going to do is go to item 7.1, which is the method of voting for the election of the Mayor. As the returning officer and under the regulations to the Local Government Act, Council is required to determine the method of voting for the position of mayor. You have a business paper before you that outlines your choices as to how you may wish to vote through open voting, ordinary or secret ballot and preferential ballot. I'm now going to ask councillors for a motion as to the method of voting for the position of mayor. Do I have a mover? Open voting. Thank you, Councillor Naji. Second by Councillor Souness. Do I have anyone who wishes to speak to that? I'll put the motion that the method of voting for the election of mayor be through open voting. Show of hands. All those in favour? Those against? No, I declare that carried. Thank you, councillors. That brings us to item 7.2, which is the election of the mayor. So as you would be aware, nominations must be in writing, and that 2 or more councillors must nominate a councillor for the position of mayor. I have 2 nominations with me at the moment. Those 2 nominations are for Councillor Bill Saravinovsky, who's been nominated by Councillor McDougall and Councillor Wada, and Councillor Mark Hanna, who's been nominated by Councillor Souness and Councillor Douglas. I need to ask Councillor Saravinovsky whether you accept the nomination. And Councillor Hanna, do you accept your nomination? I'll take that as a positive. Thank you. Councillors, can I ask, before we go to the vote, are there any other nominations for the position of mayor? All right. Therefore, I will take that as that we have 2 nominations and we'll proceed to the voting. Okay. Thank you. As you have decided to vote by show of hands, I will now write each candidate's name onto a slip of paper and deposit it into this box. Now, the reason I'm doing that, in case anyone is interested or confused, we do that so that as I draw the names out of the box, that will determine the voting order. So we'll go on to a tally sheet that the Manager of Governance will be recording onto. So to determine who we will vote for first out of the 2 candidates, that will be determined by pulling the names out of the box. Nothing in the box. So, councillors, just for completeness, I have Councillor Saravinovsky and Councillor Hanna. Exactly the same pieces of paper. Very dramatic. Okay, both in the box, shake it around. Let me look. Oh, they both disappeared. Councillor Hanna, your name has come out first. And the other name, Councillor Saravinovsky, has come out second. So we're writing that on the tally sheet now. Can I ask those who are voting for Councillor Hanna to please raise your hand? And could you please leave your hand raised while we record your vote on the tally sheets? Councillor Douglas, Councillor Hanna, Councillor Barlow, Councillor Werner and Councillor Souness. Okay, thank you, councillors. Could I ask those councillors who are voting for Councillor Saravinovsky as mayor to please raise your hands now and leave them raised while we record your vote. Which way are you going? Curry, Morrissey, Muscat, Bardell, Jansen, Naji, Saravinovsky, Awada, McDougall and Sedrak. Thank you, councillors. Everyone has voted. I declare Councillor Saravinovsky as mayor. Now we need to go through exactly the same process for the deputy mayor. Those two. So councillors, item 7.3 on the business paper asks you to consider two things. One is firstly whether you wish to have a deputy mayor for the remainder of this term of council, and secondly, if you do, by what form of voting you would like to elect the mayor. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Councillor McDougall. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Sedrak, thank you. Any speakers? No speakers, so I'll put the motion that this be by a show of hands for a deputy mayor for the rest of the term of this council. Those in favour? Those against? No, declare that carried. Thank you very much. Now, I have before me two nomination forms. The first one is for Councillor Heidi Lee Douglas, nominated by Councillor Hannah and Councillor Barlow. Do you accept your nomination? Thank you. And Councillor Joe Awada, nominated by Councillor Saravinovsky and Councillor McDougall. Councillor Awada, do you accept your nomination? Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? No? Thank you very much. So we'll now determine the order of the voting. So Councillor Awada. So I have Douglas and Awada. Councillor Douglas as the first name on the tally and Councillor Awada. Thank you, councillors. The tally sheet ready? So could I ask those councillors who are voting for Councillor Douglas to please raise your hands and leave them there while we mark the tally sheet. For those for Councillor Douglas. Councillor Douglas, Councillor Hannah, Councillor Barlow and Councillor Werner. Thank you. Those voting for Councillor Awada, could you please raise your hands and leave them in the air? Councillor Curry, Councillor Morrissey, Councillor Muscat, Bardell, Councillor Jansen, Naji, Saravinovsky, Souness, Awada, McDougall and Sedrak. Thank you. I declare Councillor Awada as Deputy Mayor. And that concludes the election, so I'd invite Councillor Saravinovsky to come forward. Let me just find you this spot. I'm happy to. Happy to. This is where you've done.
What's that?
So you can say a few words, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just the final report.
Okay. Councillors and members of the public here and also on Facebook, I'm truly humbled to be elected as Mayor of Bayside Council. This is my 40th year in local government. When I was first elected in 1983, at the age of 21, I never thought I'd become to the position of mayor. When I first ran for council, I wanted to make a difference. And what inspired me was where I live. I've lived in Richmond Street and Lennox Street for the last 55 years. And there was a fatality with one of my brother's best friends was killed. And it took me 2 years to get traffic islands installed. And that's what inspired me to run for council, to make a difference. I'm very humble and I take this job very seriously. I want to also, first of all, congratulate Councillor Joe Wada on his election as Deputy Mayor. But I want to make special tribute to Councillor Curry and Councillor Morrissey. They have done a splendid job. And I'm very proud to call them my colleagues on council. We've achieved as a group a lot. And as Councillor Douglas said, we might fight at the debates and that, but at the end of the day, we're all here united to achieve a goal, and that is to make Bayside a better place for our community. I have 2 children that have grown up in Bayside, and we all have children and family members. I'm proud to live in Bayside. I'm very proud of the fact that every person that calls me on my mobile phone, I pick up. And I'll continue to do that whilst I'm serving on council. And I'm proud of the fact that I send emails back to anyone that writes to me. So those that are watching via Facebook, please, if there's an issue, call me. I'll pick up the phone. Or if you want me to come out and see you, I'll come out and see you. There's no problems to that. But I look forward to the next 12 months. Look forward to the next 12 months to working with all of you, and more importantly, the community, to make a better place for this area. But I just want to acknowledge 2 people here tonight that are here. Some of the people that are in the gallery have worked with me on council from the day I first got elected, and it was back in 1983. And there's a gentleman that's just nodding his head, former councillor and former member of the upper house, that's Shoket Musamani. We actually live in the same street. And it's hard sometimes to avoid him because I have to go through Lennox Street. Mo, my barber, I didn't get a chance to see him today. And Bill Camper. Bill Camper and I and his brother Steve, we used to go to school together at James Cook. And I just wanted to acknowledge, and former councillor Ron Bezic is here. I've got Mr. Fred Youssef. Thank you for coming. He's been a very good friend of mine. The Tooks from TQM, thank you for coming. All I can say is I'm honoured, humbled, and I look forward to working with all of you. How can I forget him? Khalil Ibrahim. He's been my friend and neighbour for close to 42 years. Every election, he's always there to support me, and I just want to say I'm very, very humbled that you've taken the time out to come. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the public that are watching this on Facebook. I just want to thank, also, I look forward to working with the staff under the leadership of our General Manager and all the directors. And I look forward to working with them to achieve the common good. Thank you. Councillors, moving along on 7.5, which is the statutory council and external appointments. Oh, Deputy Mayor, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, and thank you all for your support. It is my absolute pleasure to be elected as Deputy Mayor tonight. Thank you for the confidence in me, and I will serve Bayside Council and our Bayside residents to the best of my ability. I take this opportunity to congratulate our Mayor, elected Mayor, Councillor Saranowski, on being re-elected for a further term, and look forward to working with you in the next 12 months. I'd also like to acknowledge and sincerely thank Councillor Curry and Deputy Mayor Councillor Morrissey for their leadership. I'm looking forward to continuing our work together to keep on improving everything we do with the aim to making life better for everyone in our Bayside community. Thank you.
Well said. Councillor Naji.
Mr. Mayor, I always like to add a bit of humour in my conversation, my talk. You said you started when you were 21. You still look 21 years of age.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Mayor. But every time I look at you, it reminds me of Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back. And this is, congratulations, this is your 11th mayoralty, Mr. Mayor. I could only think of one former councillor, may he rest in peace, former councillor Ron Rathbone, and I think you're pretty close, not only in years, 40 years, but as the number of mayoralty. And to me, Mr. Mayor, like your predecessor, the previous mayor, talk about experience. You have the experience, and I've heard that pre-poll, saying, oh, Councillor Saranowski, Councillor Naji, Councillor Barlow, it's about time you retire. I don't think so, Mr. Mayor. You have proven in 40 years you have delivered a lot. Experience counts, experience delivers, and experience matters when you are in that chair. And Mr. Mayor, I've always, since you've been the previous mayors and the previous terms, you've always had your door open, not only to councillors, but it's true to any member of the community. I congratulate you, looking forward working with you, and looking forward to continue, what you have inherited to deliver further to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Souness.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll stay on the Star Wars theme. I think it's the Return of the Jedi. I'd like to congratulate you both. You have got the experience. We've worked together over the past three. I've been here for 3 terms, and Bill, we've known each other for many years before that, and I think the experience that you bring to the table is phenomenal, and it brings stability to the council, which continues on the back of the work of the previous mayor and deputy mayor. So thank you both, and good luck in the next 12 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just
Councillor
make
Bond.
a comment. In 1995, my first election, and Councillor Saranowski was surprised to get into the chair. I do remember that. And so it's 28 years, so congratulations, and just keep working hard, because that's what it's all about. And so that's what it was, just such a memory thing coming back. So it was a shock to the chamber at the time as well. So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz.
Let's see the readings.
Thank you all. Moving along, I was just got to acknowledge my son. Thank you, Kiki, for coming. Hmm? Yeah. Next item is 7.5, which is the Statutory Council and External Appointments. We've all got a copy of the business paper. It's been moved by Councillor Curry, seconded by Councillor Souness. Any speakers? Councillor Curry?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. If we could just scroll down, please, to 4 and 5. So just in relation to number 3, that council notes that councillors are not members of the 4 internal advisory committees. Can that please be amended to who are not members of the 4 committees of council? They're not advisory committees, they're committees of council. Thank you. And and in relation, number 4 is being deleted. So, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Morrissey and I have sat on SS Rock for the past 2 years, and I am the Deputy Vice President of SS Rock. So, with the support, I'd like to ask for the support of the Chamber for us to both continue our term on SS Rock. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Is that, no one's got objections to that? Yep, we can add that on. Hmm? Oh. Yep, and they've got point 3, the Councillor Douglas is elected representative of the Sydney Coastal Council Group Executive Committee. Everyone's okay with that? Okay. And Councillor Werner wishes to resign or turn delegate to Sydney Eastern City Planning Panel.
Yes, that's
Greta?
true. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone? Yep. Any other nominations? All right, I'll take it. The Councillor Souness be the alternative member of the Sydney Eastern City Planning Panel. Any other items? If not, oh, is there more? The audit, isn't it the same? Yep.
Sorry, councillors, if I can just explain why we have point 1 there. There are currently 4 councillors, I think, on risk and audit, and there are some changes that will occur in the regulation by the end of this financial year. So what we wanted to do is confirm a position that will terminate in June and the other position that will terminate in September.
Question, are the councillors even allowed to be welcome on that committee, or? I thought the rules were changing.
Through the chair, there was early discussions around councillors not participating on the Risk and Audit Committee because they are the ultimate decision makers when the committee's minutes come to council. However, in the draft regulations that we've seen, it is anticipated that there will be 1 councillor representative on future ARICs post September 24.
Any nominations? For the risk?
Yeah, as one of the representatives, I wasn't actually informed at the time that the changing schedule was going to meet during the day, which makes it absolutely impossible for me and many other councillors to attend. And I think that's quite unjust, if I'm honest. So I'm more than happy, and it's something that I feel I make valuable contributions to. But if people are meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm effectively volunteering my time, I can't leave the obligations to my employer to do that. So if there's scope for the time to change back to an evening meeting at 6:30, I'd be more than happy to do that, to attend. Otherwise, there's no point in me nominating because I can't be there.
Sorry, Madam,
Councillor Douglas, sorry. Yeah.
sorry, Mr. Mayor. I would like to nominate Councillor Werner for that position as well. Thank you.
So, through you, Mr. Mayor, who decides when the committee meets?
That's what I just asked.
Through the chair and members of the committee themselves have made the decision to meet in the afternoon.
Sorry, Councillor Morrissey, I assume, is on this committee. When did they make this decision and how?
Through the chair, they've held, I think, 2 meetings in the afternoon. They made the decision at the previous committee meeting, I believe, and they were unanimous. The committee members who were in attendance, I think there were 4 of them, including the chair, unanimously decided to meet in the afternoon.
So it was unanimously made at an afternoon meeting at which no councillors were present because I was working. I had a notice of the agenda sent to me to say it's happening at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can't make that. So it's all the whole first term, and the current term was always at night. Now, look, I've got no big deal. If anyone else wants to join, it's not about that. It's about having an adequate councillor representation on the Audit and Risk and Improvement Committee, which is central to what we do. So, you know, I'd like to move to actually return that back to 6:30 at night. And if I'm happy to nominate. If not, I'm happy to open it to the floor. But the meeting needs to be at 6:30 at night, so people with paid jobs, we don't get paid, right? We come out of the goodness. We get a stipend, yeah. So I don't know how we can move that here, but I don't think it's right having it when most councillors work and can't attend even if they wanted to.
Councillor Warner, are you available during the day?
I can be flexible to be there.
Right.
Yeah. Is it 4 times a year? 5 times. Yeah, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make the point about this, my understanding is that these auditors or people on this risk committee get paid quite well. They're paid from council funds. Now, that being the case, I think we should at least be in a position to be able to say, well, you know, the rules are that you need to make the meetings, you know, after a certain time during the day to facilitate attendance by whoever the nominated councillors may be. Because otherwise, it seems to me we've completely lost control of it, Mr. Mayor. So I think that's something that really needs to be looked at. These positions are not volunteer positions. They're actually remunerated very well from what I can understand.
Okay. The advice I've just received from the GM is that we'll raise it at the next meeting, but I still think we should, at the next meeting, we'll express our concerns, but I still think we should vote for the Councillor Werner and Councillor Morrissey as being our delegates. Is that, you okay with that? Yeah, and then we'll express our concerns, so.
Anyone in the chamber can actually attend any of the meetings anyway. Well, they used to be able to attend without being on the committee, which I kept thinking I was going to do and never did.
Yeah. So we've got point 1, if we can add Councillor Morrissey on there. Oh, yeah, I can't see that far. Yeah. All right. Yep, okay. All right, any other amendment? Oh,
So,
Councillor
sorry,
McKibben.
Mr. Mayor, I'm just reading from the minutes of the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee meeting held on 9th of February 2023. But according to the minutes, they resolved to meet at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 11th of May. Then the next meeting of the committee seems to have been at 1:30 p.m. on the 23rd of May. I just really like to understand where a decision was made that was, noted in the council minutes that this meeting would be moving to during the day. I mean, I'm sorry to go on about this, but I really totally disagree with the idea of holding this during the day. We do pay these people to attend. Like, councillors should be able to attend. The regulation allows councillors to attend and be part of this committee. So I really don't think it's like, unless we have absolutely no power to change this, these meetings should be held when councillors are available.
True.
Well, sorry, can we add to, I'd like to add it to the motion in accordance with what Councillor Morrissey said, that we set these meetings down, if we're able, to evening meetings.
Yeah, I agree. No. I think we should take away, if practical, I think we should just say an evening, don't give them options. All right, everybody have with that? Yep. Can they be held on Zoom or not? Yeah, we can give them option of Zoom if it's a thing. All right, any other speakers? If not, Councillor Sims. Two. All right, I'll put it all in favour, say aye. Those against no, declare it carried. And with no other items, I hereby declare the meeting closed at 8:22 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for the attendance. Thank you.